weather has been kind of yucky today, rainy for sure. We've been working on the garden yesterday and today. I didn't film anything today because it's been raining. I went in to get dry, changed into a dry hoodie, and I'm going to try to do a little bit more out here because the rain's supposed to come back. I'll show you what we've done. With these panels that we have making the hoop, we had just T-posts in the ground, and they were all rusty and kind of yucky looking, and so now I went around and I put fence posts all the way around, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to go to the sawmill and mill some boards, but I'm going to run fencing down the side, kind of like a corral style fence. And I put this animal netting, and I'll put my boards so you won't see that, but that's to keep the little chickens from getting in the garden. I didn't let the chickens out today because we lost one yesterday to a predator. This really makes me angry, but like some of this stuff is going to come down, like that's going to come down, and that panel won't be there. So just cleaning it up, making it look better. And like I said, I'll be running fence boards long ways this way. And so you want that fencing, that animal netting that you see there, that will pretty much disappear behind the boards. And I put it up first because now I can nail my boards up to it, and it'll help strengthen that a little bit. But these poles that I have, fence poles, I now need to come back and cut them at an angle so that the rain will kind of run off of it, and also make them all the same height. So that's what I'm going to try to get done now before the rain comes back. Now you see the panel goes down there, and then we'll have the boards on the outside. But here, this little section is kind of open. On this side, and you can see. So from this pole to this pole, I'm going to have to bring the boards up higher. So I'm going to try to cut these outside poles off the same height as this, or get pretty close. Being wet and cold today, so I think that's all I'm going to do. It already looks whole lot better. It's actually what we look at every day from sitting in the back. The good news about this project is I get to saw more lumber, so I do need to go get some. Got to figure out what. I mean, I probably have some in here that I can use. Got some here that I milled not too long ago, but I have to do some math, figure out how much I need, what the widths are, and get them all cut down. But I'm always happy to go back to the sawmill and do some lumber. So this is the window I look out in the morning when I'm sitting and having my coffee. So I really wanted, since I have to look at that every day, just wanted it to look nicer. It's getting there. I'm going to take these boards and cut them down to the size that we milled some boards back there the other day. So lengthwise, I'm not going to mess with that yet. I'm just going to get them everything the right width so I can start stacking up and getting enough boards. Once I get enough boards, then I'll go to the cutting them the right length. So these boards are all different widths, and so and they're thick and heavy, so I have to set up stands, which you can't see because they're behind the board, to help me run them through. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my width set on the table saw. So I know that they're not completely squared, but I'm okay with that for the project that we're doing. It's going to be outside on the garden. And yes, I know that it's pine, and pine doesn't hold up outside on its own forever. But we have a lot of board and batten buildings here that we've used pine on. It's lasted a long time, but I also am planning to put Thompsons on this particular project to kind of make it look a little more pretty, and it'll hold up better. So, anyway, back to my original point. I know they're not going to be square on both sides completely, but my main thing is just getting the correct width. And if one side is not completely square, I'm okay with that. For the project that we're doing, it'll make it look a little more rustic. So I'm just going to cut these down to 5 1/4, and I'm only going to have to cut one side. I think that was a very long-winded explanation of what I'm doing, but I'm just going to cut one side of these boards because I don't care if it's square completely on the other side. These are all the boards that I had on hand in my wood storage that were going to work for the garden. And I've got them cut to the 5 1/4 width. The length is not cut yet. But I'm going to wait until I have all my boards before I start cutting the links. So I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good boards. Some of these, you know, I'll have to cut off. And there is going to be a small section there. I may be able to get 2 boards out of some of them. But what I need to do now is mark them some way, because I don't want anyone using these boards. Because sometimes people come over to my little wood shop and say, oh, that's the perfect size boards that I need for something else. And they use them. We're going to need quite a few boards, so I don't want any of these to go anywhere else. Now, another thing I can do while I have this is, these are all the pieces that were cut off the edge. And I mean, they're just really not good for much. They're rough, they have knots in them, they're not straight, they go wonky. And they're pretty small, but I don't like to have waste. So on boards like this, I will chop them up in about, I don't know, 12-inch pieces. Today's just going to be some odd and end projects. I don't want to start anything big because I don't really have all day. So there's always a little something here and there I need to do. Right now I want to go get a video uploaded, or starting to upload while I'm working on something else. It's always hard to pick what I want. So what I do is I go through and I have some videos already ready to go, and I just have a folder. It's called To Be Uploaded. And so I keep complete videos with a little thumbnail that matches. So I just have to decide, and I usually go and look to see what my last video was, kind of what the content was, so that I don't do like 2 woodworking in a row, or 2 homestead in a row, or 2, you know, overlanding in a row, just to kind of keep a good mix on it. So let's see what we have. I know the last one was our family trip to Arkansas in the cabin. So, well, other than the little short that I put for the new tent. So let's see, we did Homestead, Sawmill, and then Overlanding. So we can do, I don't know why it's so hard. We can do a woodworking or a homestead. I don't know. It's always so hard to decide. Okay, this is something, it's kind of gross, but these cute little pumpkins and gourds a friend of mine gave me when I went on a trip to Indiana. I want to save these and get the seeds out of them so that I can plant some in the fall and have my own next year. So a couple of things I need to do in the garden, little quick projects. I need to get some more soil and put in these. I need to get this tilled up, but that won't be today. But these raised beds that I have here, I don't think I had enough holes in them, drainage. So I'm going to cut some more holes in there. So we'll do that today. And then I want to plant my tomato seeds. So I got to remember where I put my seed pots for planting. I got my pots while I was looking for another bed. So I went with my friend to Indiana. Was it in the fall, maybe? Anyway, we brought back some tomatoes from her family, and they were delicious. So I've never been successful with growing tomatoes by seeds, but I'm going to try, because these tomatoes were really, really good. So I'll probably do about, I don't know, maybe 4 pots. I'm going to get some good soil. It doesn't take much to get these little pots filled. Now just some good dirt here. Put a little bit of a mix of everything. I've got some kind of mulch in the bottom, so it'll drain well, and then some sandy soil, and just a little bit of mix of everything. I'm not a this is not a how-to video, by the way. This is just what I'm doing. If you're looking for advice on gardening, I think you need to find another channel. Mine is just a fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Some people are really passionate about gardening. I enjoy planting things and then harvesting, but I would definitely not say I'm passionate about it. My mom loves to come out here and do all kinds of things. So these are very precious seeds. I don't have very many of them. Whew. Hope this works. These tomatoes were really good. I might save some and then just throw them in the bed once we're beyond the freeze and see if they come up like that. Just put a few in there. Now I'll take them inside, kind of let them germinate. Kind of watch over them. I've got some seed potatoes going also. Now those will go out pretty quick, maybe by next weekend for sure. I think they go out. You're supposed to plant potatoes on Valentine's Day. That's what my papa always said. Alright, so we've got our little tomatoes in the pots here. I'll take them inside and then we'll go from there. This is where we're at with the garden so far. Mom's planted some collards and kale and looks like a little Swiss chard. This is where we're at with the garden so far. Mom's planted some collards and kale and looks like a little Swiss chard. I was able to get a lot done in the garden. There's still more that I want to do, but it's dependent upon lumber at this point, so I have to get enough of those boards cut. And that'll be just over time. I just try to fit it in. I'm not going to go out there when it's 29 degrees or 18 degrees. It's, again, I'm just not that passionate about gardening, so I do want it to look nice and it will be finished. I have a pretty good plan now, so I know where we're at and I know how much lumber I need to finish so I can get that cut. I did go cut some more. I don't remember, the beginning of this week or last week. I can't remember now. It all runs together. But I got some more cut, so I think I have enough. We just need some drying time on that. And again, I'm not going out to work on stuff like that when it's just super, super cold out or raining. And that kind of has been the case here lately. If it's not raining, then it's just super cold. So another project that it's going to be a little bit longer of a project, and that's okay because not all projects are meant to be finished overnight. So gives me something to look forward to and to work on. And so yeah, I appreciate y'all watching and watching the progress of the garden. It's gonna be so much prettier to look at than it was. It was functional and it worked great before, but I just kind of wanted to beautify it a little bit. Mom's already added a few more plants to the garden, and so it's just an ever-changing, it's an evolving thing. And so yeah, we're constantly working on it. And so thanks for watching this video, and if you're not subscribed already, then please subscribe. There's all kinds of little things we get up to, and we just keep keep trudging along and making more videos. Thanks for watching.